Hello, welcome to Racing to Win for the second time in 3 or 4 days. We're back at Happy Valley on Wednesday night after racing there on Sunday. The rail goes out to a slightly wider C3 position. Just the 8 races on this Wednesday night, and joined in the studio to preview it all by Paul Lally and Tom Wood. And Tom, we've got a few first starters, a few we know quite well, and an 8-race program.
We do, Mark. 8 races coming up on the C+3 position Wednesday night. There is a tropical storm in the vicinity as well, so we'll see how that plays out over the next 12 to 24 hours. But the main race comes up as the American Club Challenger Cup. Durham Star taking on Hero Star, who went very fast last time.
He did indeed. Can always find one to beat him too, Hero Star. No jackpots on Wednesday night, Paul, but just saving it for a mammoth one on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the triple trios got up to a really big amount for the weekend. But this weekend there's none, but look, there's really open races throughout. As Mark said at the top, there's a lot of first starters, a few run in other jurisdictions, and a couple haven't raced before, but some of them have trialled pretty well.
They have. We'll have a look at some of those trials through Racing to Win and on the website too for the other races. But here is the meeting details. It's meeting 16, 8 turf, C+3, and we are going to focus on races 7 and 8. Later start with just the 8 races too, back to 7:15 for post time of race number 1. Race number 7 though, and this is a Class 3 over the 1,000 metres. Special M resumes. He's had the 3 trials and is on the class drop. Harmony Fire resumes. He's had 2 trials with the shadow roll going on. Classic Posh comes back to the 1,000. First starter is Dragon Admiral for Richard Gibson. Has 1 in Australia. Heroic Master has his second start. California Deeply has his first start in Hong Kong. He's an Australian winner too. Super Axem will go forward. Sergeant Pepper comes back up in class. Savvy Delight resumes on the back of 2 trials. Spontaneous, just his second time over 1,000. And Super Eagle, he's coming back from the 1,200 to the 1,000 after his first 2 starts in Hong Kong. Speed map here, Tom, for this race. We run the 1,000-metre course, so you'd expect it to be good.
Yes, and so one of the fastest horses here in Hong Kong, certainly out of the gates anyway, is Super Axiom. He lines up here, but it's always what he's got left in the tank at the end for Super Axiom. Harmony Fire, both of his trials coming into this have been good, and he can certainly race handy, especially from barrier number 1. And California Deeply here, Paul, a newcomer. He was up near the speed in one of his races in Australia, and he was on pace in his most recent trial here.
Yeah, so he does a horse that has got that good gate speed, although in his trials he's been a slightly slower way in a few of his trials, so he'll need to jump cleanly, but he's got that good speed he can muster after that. Classic Posh is a horse we know always likes to get back. Savvy Delight likewise. Special M, if he goes forward, he just might find it a little bit tough from his draw.
He is a 2-time winner of Special M over the 1,000 metres at Happy Valley. We're going to start, though, with an interview. Heroic Master's having his second start in Hong Kong at Happy Valley. He debuted there on a recent Wednesday night, and his trainer is Frankie Law. Frankie, you must have been very happy with Heroic Master after that first up third. It was a very tough run.
Yeah, it's really good. He finished really close third, yeah.
He's been in Hong Kong since April. He's a horse you've been very patient with.
Yeah. I tried, I think 1 or 2 times last season, and then this season I also tried him, and he tried really good.
After that tough run at Happy Valley, has he bounced back well, eaten up? Are you happy with his work?
Yeah. After first start, he improved. So I put a set to get up 2 times. He's happy for this horse, yeah.
He led up in a trial or 2. Are we likely to see him perhaps in a different role and in front this week?
I think so. Because last time he only 7 runners, draw 7. This time 12 runners, he draw 6. I think it's okay. And he have some gate speed. I think maybe just go a little bit forward, yeah.
Why take him to Happy Valley? Is he better suited to the smaller circuit?
Yes, also before when I arrived to Hong Kong, he's a little bit keen in the morning. That's why I just try Happy Valley first.
There he is, Frankie Law. He got around the smaller tracks in Australia, be it Wyong and Gosford OK, and we've seen him have 1 start. This is it, Paul, at Happy Valley. Barrier number 7, he was trapped wide and just had no luck. You expect him to come on from this run?
Yeah, I think he'll win this race. Look, he was 3 wide the whole way, wasn't he? You see the other horse came back on his inside there, and he was 3 wide at the back, and he really stayed on nicely at the end as well. In the small field, as you say, he had absolutely no luck whatsoever. Zach Burton jumps aboard, and I think he can win.
He was a bit fierce at the back there as well when he was positioned about third last, so Derek just had to let him slide up and give him a little bit more range just to try and settle him a bit better in this run too, but it just was not ideal for him being caught 3 wide. We know how well Penghai Galaxy has been going. It was a small field on this occasion, but he's definitely got ability here. Super Axiom, we know what he does, Paul, week in, week out, goes to the front and then stops sort of the last 50, 75.
Yeah, exactly. And look, he'll probably do something here because there's a lot of speed in this race. I think he's going to have to work a bit to get past Harmony Fire because he's led in both his trials as well. You can see him just fading out here now.
With the Super Axiom drawing 10 this week, he had barrier 4 in that race, and Harmony Fire down to barrier number 1. What about these rides, Tom, for Zach Person on Wednesday night?
Yeah, well, I think Rattan Kingdom can win the first race. He's got superb daddy for Me Choi, exuberant there, flying on the turf for Jamie Richards, Hero Star, Comet Splendido, a last start winner. So that's the first 6 for Zach. And he's got Heroic Master, of course, and Gluck Racer, who's first up and does have a good first up record there for Jamie Richards in that final race. So, as you'd expect, fairly strong.
What about you, Paul? Got him in for a few of them?
Yeah, I think I've got him in just about everyone except the last, I think. Okay. So, yeah, I've got them in somewhere along the way. He should be in for a good night.
All right, he'll be no doubt favourite for the Jockeys Challenge. We move on to Sergeant Pepper, Paul. Here he is running second behind Gold Baby last time. Now, he comes back to Class 3 and he has just struggled a little bit in this grade. He
has, but look, he comes in with a lightweight and he all but won this race, didn't he? Just got beaten on the bob. His first ever run in Hong Kong was in this grade over the course and distance. And he was rated 64, so he's actually rated less than that at the moment. And it was a great win by the winner there, but look, he all but won it, didn't he?
He's probably going to end up maybe slightly further back than he sort of has done in his last couple of runs, just from that draw of barrier number 7, which did concern me a little bit here on the C+3 course.
And those pink colours in that race was Pretty Queen Prawn, and he was a winner on Sunday at the Valley. Spontaneous Tom. 1,000 metres. He's almost unknown when it comes to this trip, and he draws barrier number 12.
We know he's got a good record over 1,200 metres. You can see him just a little bit wayward there at the top of the straight as well. He got his head up at the start. He went back and he covered ground in this, but you can see right at the end, Paul, he is doing his best work late and just wanted to do a few things wrong on the straight too. Yeah,
I couldn't have him in this race, so back to 1,000 from barrier 12, so I've left him out.
All right, we move on to one of the first starters here, Paul. This is California Deeply. This is over at Sha Tin, this trial. He's had 2 starts overseas for a win. He's had 3 trials. He wins this one. He's also had a trial at Happy Valley too. Yeah,
I thought he went really well on this trial. It was a nice trial from him. He was slightly slow away, but then he really made the ground up with some good gate speed. And these two in front sort of came away together, with the Unicorn horse on the inside. But it was a really good trial, I thought. I'm going to include him.
Yeah, I've got him in. I've certainly got him in here. He was up near the speed when he did win at Warwick Farm prior to arriving, and he has got each better with each and every trial here.
Matthew Chadwick and Tony Cruz, the combination. Happy Valley, this is a horse you've had time for in the past, Tom. Harmony Fire, what have you made of his trials this time in?
Yeah, I think the trials have been good. He is up a bit in body weight here, 38 pounds. He's had some lameness issues. He's had a right fore ligament issue as well. But both of his trials, I think, have looked good. And he's got the Ada barrier 1 with De Souza on board.
Yeah, definitely. He goes in. He's a Quinella horse, in fact, for me. I think he's trialling really well at the moment.
All right, who makes up the top 4, Paul?
Yeah, so Heroic Master, I think, can win this race. He's clearly on top for me. Harmony Fire have like both his trials here. He's a Quinella horse. Sergeant Pepper in there for 3rd. He's up in grey, but has got the lightweight. And the first starter, California Deeply, on a minor line. 5, 2, 8 and 6.
Same Quinella, 5 and 2. Heroic Master's first up run was very good in defeat there for 3rd behind Penghai Galaxy. Harmony Fire's been trialling well. Hasn't won fresh in the past, has won 2nd up, but the trials have looked good. Shadow Roll On, barrier 1 De Souza rides. California Deeply's looked good in his trials and had a bit of time for Super Eagle after that first up outing, but didn't do a lot last time out. Was wide and was at the back and was a bit keen as well. So we'll see what he can do. He is drawn in barrier 3 and Keith Young certainly found some form. So 5, 2, 6 and 11.
Keith Young riding a winner at the last 3 meetings here in Hong Kong, and Super Eagle has won over the 1,100 metres at Maui. He's coming back in trip to the 1,000 metres. That has been the preview of race number 7. We'll take a break here on Racing to Win. Back to look at race number 8 right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. We are winding our way through the preview for Happy Valley on Wednesday night after racing there last Sunday. The quick turnaround for the City Circuit. We've seen race number 7 prior to the break. So we can have a look at race number 8 now. It's over the 1200 metres and another Class 3 event. Drops of God carries the top weight again, but only 131 pounds this week. Adios is a last start winner. He carries an extra 6 pounds for it, and it was course and distance. Starbright's won off a rating of 64, so he'll need to win off a career best. Yo Beauty drawn to lead. Sky Forever comes back from the 1400 to the 1200. Gluck Racer, a stable change now with Jamie Richards. Crossover Noseband and Visor both go on. Solar Winds has a Street Scream form. We have got, further down, Quadruple Double with no wins at Happy Valley. Smoky Bear and Mr. Valiant come out of the same trial, and Global Harmony has trialled up pretty impressively at Happy Valley, and we'll see that soon. But after the starters list, we need the speed map, Tom, so a good pace again over the 1200 metres.
Yeah, should be in this race, and you've got Yo Beauty, who's normally pretty reliable in terms of pace. So too is Quadruple Double, but he's never won at the city circuit of Happy Valley. Has Quadruple Double. He's got Barrier 10 with Alfie Chan. Looks pretty tough for Exponential from 9. He has been able to lead up in the past, has Exponential. And Smoky Bear coming into this, Paul, he led in a recent barrier trial from Barrier 1 here.
Yeah, he showed a bit more pace, didn't he? And I think they would make use of that pace as well with Smoky Bear. Sky Forever's drawn wide. He'll go back. Drops of God might be slightly further back than he'd like, just from his sort of draw as well. And Exponential, as you said, he's the one that's going to try and get across.
There's him out there, but one of the pace angles for this last race will undoubtedly be Yo Beauty, who was able to lead from a wide draw last time. Alexi Bedell has quite a good record on the horse, and they partner again in race number 8. Alexi, Yo Beauty is certainly a horse that's holding his good form.
Yes, certainly. He's doing very well at the moment, and his last run from a wide gate was excellent.
Barrier number 12 that day, and you led. That's not easy to do around Happy Valley.
No, but he's very quick out of the gate. He's very nice horse. He tries very hard, and hopefully that good gate will help to control even more.
And with the rail in the C+3 position, how important is it to use that good gate and be on the speed?
Well, definitely more important than ever, because the track is very narrow. So I guess it's very important. But at the end of the race day, it's very important to check the racing pattern, the track, where the best place is to be.
And looking at the race this week, there doesn't appear to be a whole lot of pace in the race, so you might get an easy lead.
Well, I hope so. Let's find out. But he's certainly a nice horse, very honest. He tries very well, and he's got a good gate speed. He's very useful.
Took him 21 starts to win that first race. Was that just a mental thing about putting the head in front at the winning post?
Why not? Maybe. But he seems to be doing very well at the moment, so hopefully he can repeat that first victory.
There he is, Alexi Bedell, the rider of Yo Beauty. We're going to look at that race a little bit more in depth now, Tom, and there he is in front, Yo Beauty. He likes to lead. He's only got that one win on the board, so he certainly doesn't win out of turn. Drops have got also coming into this race once again with a high weight, but he's got early speed, Yo Beauty. Alexi gets on well with him. Can he get an easy enough lead to win this race?
Well, he might be able to, because he won't have to work too hard in this race to try and find the front here from his barrier draw of Barrier 3, Yo Beauty. He was just headed late here by Gallant Waking. We know what good form he's been in, so I've got him in for sure, Paul.
Yeah, I've got him as a Quinella horse, actually. I think he's going to run pretty well. He does work hard, and so he'll get to the front, and I think he can carry on.
We haven't got the graphic, but the inside gates on the C+3 have a terrific record, certainly over the 1200 metres. He does draw barrier number 3. Adios draws nicely in barrier number 2 here, Paul, and this is his last start win. Matthew Poon on board again. He rides for Frankie Law. That is him in those yellow and black colours, and he comes out of this race along with Exponential, who we saw on the speed map might have to be wide, but he is racing consistently, and Drops of God also appears here. From barrier number 2, what does Matthew Poon do?
Yeah, look, I don't think he'd be far away at all from barrier number 2. He'd be quite positive, just in behind the pace. The horse is going to get a nice run. I thought it was a really strong win here, and I think he can win again, actually.
I think he can as well. He won by a length of a quarter in the end over Namjong Singh's at Exponential. Drops of God, the draw worried me a little bit where he ends up, and he looked a bit one pace there last time out, so I don't have him in here.
OK, we move on from Adios and go to Happy Valley once again, and this time it's Solar Winds, and that is him back in the field there. Interesting to note and important to note here, Tom, that Street Scream, and we saw what he did again on the weekend. So the form around this race has stood up well.
It has. He just keeps stacking them up. Traders there as well. He won on the all-weather the other week at Happy Valley, at Charlton, I should say, also. And this horse did his best work late here. He was a little bit worse than midfield, but was really getting home with some urgency there, Paul. So I've got him in Solar Winds.
Yeah, so have I. I thought it was a really good run. And as you say, look, Street Scream did win on his air there, but he won on his air next start as well. So he's got comes over a really good form race.
It was a good field that he bashed up on the weekend too. Winning Icy had won 3 in a row leading into that race. Back to the trials now we go here, Paul, and this is at Happy Valley. Global Harmony. Now, there he is there. His starts certainly haven't been brilliant at times since he's been in Hong Kong. At the trials, he's only had the 2 starts. He also had an excuse last time. He pulled up lame in the race won by Lucky 8. That's the reason why he was beaten so far. Trial was good, and they were strong fields that he has raced in.
They've obviously got an opinion of this horse as well, because he started at 4.7 and 7.9 in his 2 starts last season. So 4.7 on debut, fresh up. He's now fresh up here. He's come up as about a 9-1 chance at this stage. Keep an eye, see if there's money on him once again, because the trials have been good.
Looked to be under a good enough hold at the line there, beating Heavenly Thought in the trial there. And he was up on the pace in that trial too, and he was a little bit keen in the early stages. He's had the benefit of a few trials around Happy Valley now too.
He has indeed. So Lyle Hewitson rode him that morning. He rides again on Wednesday night. Gluck Racers had a stable change, Tom. He's joined the Jamie Richards team, and Jamie's given him, as he's done with a lot of the horses, nearly all of them we've seen debut for him, 2 trials. Now that's him there. For reference, that's horse by the name of Golden 60.
Yes, it is. And look, Gluck Racer here, forget his last run. He was 4 wide, no cover up midfield, couldn't go on after that. Luke Ferraris was on board for this trial. I wanted to keep him safe here, Paul, because he's got a good fresh record. He hasn't won course and distance. He hasn't won a Happy Valley, but Zach Purton goes on board as well.
Yeah, he does. And he did win fresh up last season. He's fresh up in that state this season as well. He does a few things wrong, this horse, and he is a bleeder, but sometimes it's the best time to catch these horses.
Nice pick-up for Jamie Richards, Gluck Racer, because he certainly does have ability. Finally, Starbright. Now, he's a horse that is trained by Francis Loy. Vincent Ho takes the ride. This is his trial. And he hasn't raced since the 1st of October, so he's had this trial 19 days later. And this is up at Chung Fa. There he is there on the inside. His record, time, course and distance, 5 starts, 1 win and a couple of placings.
He's drawn barrier number 8 here, and it was just sort of going to be where they were going to try and position him in the run. Starbright from that draw. The trial looked good, but the draw did worry me, Paul. I know he's good course and distance, but the draw was the sort of deciding factor.
Yeah, I agree. I think he might get cover wide, but from barrier number 8, it just looks really tricky for him, so I didn't get him in there.
All right, and he's off a rating of 73 now too, so quite considerably higher than his highest winning rates. Selections, please, Paul.
Got to go the last start winner here, Adios. I think he can go on with it. It was a really strong win from him. Yo Beauty, he goes in there for second. Look, he'll be on the pace. And his last 2 runs have both been pretty good, actually, Yo Beauty. Solar Winds comes out of that strong form race. He gets back and runs on. I'll put Global Harmony in on the back of his trial. It was a really good trial from him. And there was little glimpses last year, and there was money for him on both his starts as well. He started single figures on both of those races. So ended up here with 2, 4, 8 and 11.
Same trio or TS, but I've thrown in the 7 for 4th, that being Gluck Racer, but keen on Adios here midfield and put them to the sword, I thought, in pretty good style last time out. Yes, he is going up a bit in the weights here to 128 pounds, but he's got barrier number 2 and should get a good run through from there. You'd think Adios number 2. For Yo Beauty, consistent, hard to catch on a win line though, that 1 win, 2 back over excellent pairs. He was beaten in the shadows last time by Gallant Waking, so he gets his chance here, does Yo Beauty. Outside of that, Solar Winds goes in like the way he finished off his start last time out. He was 4th prior to that behind Joyful Win, Luke Ferraris and Casper Founds from barrier 6. And Gluck Racer, the other one that goes in with his first up record here. 2 trials looked okay, a few gear changes as well. The visor goes back on, and Zach Purton from barrier 5. Forget the last run was very, very wide. So 2, 4, 8 and 7.
And Adios has come up the early favourite too for the last at 3.8 with Matthew Poon on board. So Frankie Law, a popular trainer to win the last 2, Paul, having Heroic Master in race number 7. So they are the last 2 races, Paul. What about the first 6? We've got a bit of time, so you can explain why you like a few of these.
I can. Ratton Kingdom, I've got him on top in race number 1. Now, Ratton Kingdom was wide in his last start, first start for the new stable. He's got a better draw. I think he's going to get a lot better run now as Rattan Kingdom. Now, Best For You, he did win third up at last season. He's third up in that state. He was off a rating of 41 when he won that. He's now on a rating of 33. So he's a really well-rated horse. He'll be right on the pace too, I think, as well. Best For You down in Class 5. Exuberant with Zach Purton aboard. Another one that's going to be right on pace with a low draw. Hearty Wish, he's drawn low as well. There's a bit of a theme going on here, going with a few barrier draws there. I just think this horse is going to get a nice run just in behind the pace. Fantastic Choice. I got him in. He's only had the one start. Now, he did run 9th on debut, but he's trialled really well since. I think Fantastic Choice is sort of one for each way play anyway. Comet's Blendido was very impressive winning last time. He's a horse I think can go on with it. There's the 6 for you.
Thank you, Paul. And you can see further in-depth analysis of those races on the website hkjc.com. Click on audio and video for a race-by-race analysis. It has come to that time of the show. We need a best bet, long shot and a play, please.
Yeah, Heroic Master. I think he's going to win. Let's hopefully Zach doesn't win too many earlier on. He might come up short, but I thought it was an impressive debut here in Hong Kong, and he's sort of really settled in nicely. And he trialled really well before that debut run. So race 7, number 5, Heroic Master, and Fantastic Choice. Just had the one race, did finish 9th on that occasion, and I think he can go on with it now, and that trial was really good from him. We'll do the play in the race we just covered, 248, Adios, Yo Beauty, and Solar Wins.
Well, race number 1, Zach Purton to shorten up the price of Heroic Master later. Race 1, horse 9, had excuses last start, caught wide, no cover, stayed on pretty well, all considering there behind Lucky Gore, only beaten the length. Value all joyful in the third race. He's resuming, pulled up with an issue last time out, blood in the trachea. 3 trials leading into this, has won fresh, has won twice course and distance for Matthew Chadwick and Benno Jung. And we'll go the forecast in the first race with Rattan Kingdom and Savvy Chic, who was pretty unlucky on debut.
Going to wait till the last and go Global Harmony off his trial around Happy Valley. Lyle Hewitson and David Hayes gets in with a lightweight, just hoping he jumps okay. And from barrier number 4, he can get himself into a handier position like we saw from him in that trial at Happy Valley. Charming Steed comes back to the Valley. That's where he has raced best at. Casper Founds trains Vincent Ho on board, so we'll make him the long shot and the play. Race 5, as easy as the stars, Durham and Hero. And hopefully Charming Steed can run him down late 1, 2 and 3 in the 5th. That has been Racing to Win for the second trip to Happy Valley in the space of 3 or 4 days. Then we're back to Sha Tin on Sunday, Tom, for Sasa Ladies Purse Day.
Yes, well, it was the bloke's turn the other week for be dressing up like a pock doctor's purse, so it's the ladies' chance this time round for the Sasa Ladies Purse. It's drawn a pretty good field. Paul, Beauty Joy at the top of the weights.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing him go round. I thought Savvy 9, Turin Red Sun. I think Douglas White's got a good hand in the race as well.
That's been Racing to Win. We'll see you at the Valley on Wednesday night.